Alright, so this is the Elucidator. It's been sitting on my wall for the good part of about 2 years now. Or was it like a year and a half? I don't remember. Whenever the heck I built this thing. But it's been sitting white all this time, and I like how Lamette light turned out. So I went out and bought some more paint, and might finally get around to painting this thing. Maybe finally finishing this for once. It's actually a little bit incomplete. There's a few pieces here that I did not put on. And maybe not, I might put the cross on that. But this currently is in a little bit of a state of disrepair. As you can see, one piece has already fallen off of it. And needs a little bit of touch-up work on the sides, just so the paint comes out nice. But yeah. Although one thing I'd like to point out is that this particular sword actually only appeared once in the entire anime. Or I should say only in one scene of the entire anime, but it has appeared about 12, 14 times. But yeah, this is actually the model I used, and it's actually the last picture in the opening intro. As you can see, doesn't quite look exactly like the one that you see rendered in the anime. Although this one is probably the most common one you see prop wise. But yeah, I don't know, I figured that, anime intros, they'd spend the most time, most detail on those, so that may have been what it was supposed to look like, and then just for the sake of animation costs, they cut it down to what this one would be, and that's what everybody built their props off of. But yeah, well, not only Elucidator is getting a paint job, I start painting Dark Repulsor too, although the colors on those have yet to be finalized. Can't tell, it's either going to be a green or a blue colored one. Well, we'll find out eventually. So, back outside, I've got Elucidator all taped off and spray painted black. Everything that's not covered is going to go a gloss black. Sorry about the wind. I'm going to have to turn down the volume a bit in post. Alright, so after peeling back the tape, this is what we have. Looks very nice, except up close. There are some little issues like that where I didn't get it fully covered. It's nothing too bad. Just a little touch-up work. Although there's some places that are much shinier than others. That's because the glue I had during assembly. That's why I don't like to spray paint things, because a lot of these glue seams, you end up seeing them. But later on I'm going to put a gloss acrylic finish over it, so it shouldn't matter. Either way. Do a little bit of touch-up work on this, and then put the final sealant on it. Show you guys how that looks. Alright, so we've gotten to sealing this blade again using this stuff, and we're gonna put just a nice thin coat over it. Oof. Stuff stinks. Alright, so now we get around, paint Dark Repulsor as well. Although, first thing you'll notice is more touch-up jobs needs to be done. This was originally kept in place just so I don't have any of the folds and everything visible, but now this has got to go. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to paper over that again. But to do that, I need to get this little protrusions on both sides up off the surface of this so I can get the paper underneath it. So the way we do that is we just take a craft knife and start working at it somehow. Okay, so now we got that paper underneath. We just start tracing it. And we'll fit that over it. Somehow. And well guys, just like that. No more seams. Well, we'll take some masking tape and then start masking off these little decorations, this piece here and the gems, because these are going to take a very dark coat of like a jade color green, and that's going to give me the contrast. Light's quickly fading, losing a lot of light here, so this will be the last bit I'm going to do today. Continue on with this tomorrow. Okay, so what I ended up doing instead was just heading over to my garage and finish spray painting this thing, although I've had a little leak issue with this. Nothing I can't clean up, so although this other side came out real nice. So I'm going to start masking off what would be the cutting edge of this, because I'm going to put a slightly different color on that. It's just to discern the edge. And the way I do this is use masking tape. Now, how do you tell how much of this you've actually masked off? What I do is I maintain a consistent half centimeter for any cutting edges. And the way I can tell is that if you take a flashlight, you can see where the sword stops and where the tape begins. And with that, you just take your ruler and just measure off of that. So, just a little tip if you're going to try something like this. Well, I'm going to go ahead, mask off the rest of this, and I want to see if I can get the rest of this stuff painted tonight, maybe in my garage or something. If not, I'll just call it a night, see what happens. Alright, so it's been a couple of days, and as it stands, this is what Dark Repulsor looks like. I think the handle maybe needs to be a little darker. A lot darker, actually. This thing did not come out right at all. In fact, not a whole lot of things came out right with this thing. The paint color did not come out to exactly what I wanted. I was up to about 3 o'clock last night messing with this thing, and what this is was supposed to be that little groove that goes here, but that came out absolutely horrible. So after about an hour and a half of working on that, I just said screw it, pull it off the sword and just leave it as is. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this as is and just acrylic seal this thing, because I think I've done enough damage to this thing as is. Maybe I should have just left it white. As far as what I currently have, this is what the two swords look like. Elucidator came out real nice, although I think the white portion on this could have been a little bit better and maybe a more definitive pommel, but other than that, I like the way it turned out. This, not so much, but I'll leave it at that. Maybe I might rebuild sometime in the future, but for the time being, I've got other projects to work on.